Hey guys, I've wanted to do this for some time. It's an overview that should help quite a few people that are facing financial difficulty, help them dig out. A couple things I'm going to cover. If you are easily offended, you are not going to like this video. If you want to pretend like you're watching it because you have interest but you don't really have a problem, you're not going to watch this video because I'm going to insult you. I went through personal bankruptcy late 1993. Discharged in 94. Those of you who have Pacer can look me up. You can see the whole case. I have no problem telling people about it. I was actually, and one of the reasons I'm putting this together is I want you to see there's an end to the tunnel. I put another video together talking about being a conqueror, getting past things, and not being a victim, but being a conqueror. And I appreciate it if you watch that. I'll see if I can put a link underneath this. I think that'll help quite a few people. I know what it's like to be at the end of your rope. I know what it's like to stare into the abyss. I know what it's like to have my entire identity tied up in my business and what I do. And when that went away in 93, I had a best friend running my business. He took all the money out of the checking account, business checking account, 20 grand, and spent about 20 grand on the American Express, the company American Express. When that happened, I was suicidal. Wrote the notes and all that. I'm the first one to admit it. So I know what it's like to get to that point. And you're going to find, by the way, guys, and I know this is probably very little consolation for a lot of you that are in a difficult situation right now, but if you talk to people that have succeeded in their industry or in multiple industries or started businesses over and over, have ever at all been successful, you'll find that they had at least one major failure that was really bad in their life. I talk to a lot of other people that own their own businesses. I tend to just have friends like that. I just run into them, and we hit it off because we're facing the same the same challenges as owners. But anyway, every single time you run into where there was a major disaster and they thought it was over. So keep that in mind, and hopefully that'll help you swallow the pills a little bit I'm about to give you. First of all, if you've got more going out than you have coming in, you have a problem you have to fix. It's not going to fix itself, okay? The money fairy is not going to land on your door tomorrow, all right? And spending more money to try to make it work doesn't work either. And those of you that are looking at my systems, one of my systems, and you're saying, wow, if I bought that, I do this, and I get out of... Listen, if you're working from desperation, I don't care what you're doing, you're going to fail. So you need to fix the problem first, then worry about bettering yourself as far as getting more financially. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. Tell the family now. This is step one. Guys, if you're not going to do this, turn off the video. If you're not going to tell your family, your kids, everybody else what's going on, it's a waste of your time. You're going to end up fighting your family, getting mad at them, and taking out your frustration and all the issues you've got going on. You're going to take it out on them because you can't understand how they could possibly spend that extra money on this. They don't know. They don't know. Tell them. Straighten them out. They will work together with you, I promise you. They're not going to see you as a failure. They are going to work to try to help you. Tell your family now. Okay? Extended family too. Guys, we're not going to Carolina to the beach this year with you. We don't have the money. Period. We don't have the money. All right? Let's talk about some other things you need to think about. Mortgage versus rent. My brother had a condo, a very large condo up in Maryland, just over the D.C., outside of D.C. Bought it right before the crash. Crash hit, he lost 30% plus of the value of that place. Called me and said, Sean, I'm thinking about doing a strategic walkaway. I said, Anthony, you got a wife? You're both blowing 800 plus credit scores, right? Right. Where would you move? Oh, it'd be a smaller place down the road. What would the cost be? It'd be a little more money. Anthony, I know all your buddies are doing that, but your payments are less in this house than renting. He said, yes, in this condo. He said, yes, even with the fees. I said, then stay where you're at. Yeah, but it's lost value. So what? You're not recapturing any value in rent, right? You're paying more rent and you're not getting any of that. You don't know, that property might be losing value. Who cares? What's your monthly? Listen to me. What is your monthly? Get that down. What are you spending? Doesn't matter how you're spending it. Throw out all this stuff. I get the tax benefit. I get whatever. If you're spending money, it's costing you money. Period. Right? All right. Lease versus a beater car. Now listen, I don't advocate not paying your way, but I understand because I've been there, okay? In a lease situation, it's basically you're renting that car. As long as you've kept that in good condition, they're not going to lose by you giving up a lease. So if you have a lease, okay, that maybe you don't have to pay on for 3 months before they come and get it. For 3 months, can you save enough on that lease to buy a beater car or put half down on a buy here, pay here beater car? Get a high mileage piece of crap on the outside and inside that has a great motor, a Honda, a Toyota, whatever, that is going to run forever and the motor's in great shape. Get that car. Even if you have to repair that car every 3 months, it's going to be cheaper. It is going to be cheaper than the lease you're in. Guys, right before the crash, I had some personal things going on. I let my insurance lapse on I had a daggone Acura 3.5 RL. Completely totaled that car. I'm lucky to have walked away from that. I had to continue making payments on that car. I didn't have any insurance. So I had to call a bank, tell them what was going on, and say, look, I'm going to keep making payments for the next year. I bought a Volkswagen Fox. Those of you who know what that is the biggest piece of crap ever made. It is a Kleenex box on wheels, all right? I drove that. I was a realtor, guys. Thank God I had buyer agents. I would go to listings and park around the corner and walk. And if somebody did see it, I'd go, that's my gardening car. Because it was. I'd put my gardening stuff in there. It was also my everyday car. Piece of junk. Bought it for $1,500 off the lot. No joke. All right. So a beater car, that's a great way to go. Entertainment, guys, if you're on cable for entertainment, first of all, you can stream major sporting events. Go get an HDMI cable. You can stream them online right now right into your TV. Entertainment, though, Roku is the way to go, not cable. I still have it. I can afford to do cable. I use Roku. God, it saves me over $100 a month on my cable bill. You get hooked up with, I think it's $100 or $200 to get the unit, and then you pay Hulu or whatever you want to sign up for on Roku. It's on subscription basis, and I'm on Hulu and something else. I think it begins with a Z. Anyway, I'm on those, and it's like $20 a month total versus I was over $120 just for the cable part of it before. And I still haven't got, and I wouldn't have a problem paying it. I think it's stupid to pay the money for cable. As far as eating out, guys, get over yourselves already. You can make a sandwich for $1, okay? Less than $1. Get over yourself. Nobody's going to make fun of you, okay? And if you're that caught up in your appearances, you're never going to dig yourself out. So get over yourself right now. Get over yourself right now. All right, pack a lunch. Pack a lunch. I do every day. And I buy lunch for everybody in the office once a week. And I still pack a lunch. All right, appliances. Used versus renting to own. If you're in a situation where you have to make that call, guys, you can get an appliance if it's, double check that it's working, right? Go to Craigslist or whatever. You can get an appliance. Who cares if it's 10 years old and it's barely working? When you're done paying for a rent to own, you've bought that appliance 4 or 5 times at least. All right? So don't rent appliances if you can help it. If you can afford to buy them, that's great. You can also check scratch and dents. Again, the Roku, there's also freebies on there, and you can rent movies, but there's also free movies you can check out. If you've got dry cleaning, next time you buy, don't buy dry cleaning. Guys, I have Brooks Brothers shirts. I have all that. None of my stuff, okay? I meet with attorneys. I fly into other states, meet with attorneys. I've had to go and give testimony before a court. I don't have anything except for my suit top that's dry clean. Seriously, you don't need it to be dry clean anymore. Women, same thing. My wife is into that. She really watches what she does. Get out of your dry cleaning. Are you kidding me? I saw our dry cleaning bills. I just about had a heart attack 3 or 4 years ago. After that, we were done. We were done with that. I am generous, believe it or not. It's my family. But it's because I cut back on all the crap. All right. Plan, guys. You've got to cut these costs. You've got to cut them. Now, part of the planning is you've got to get multiple types of income. I used to make fun of, there's a guy in Concord, Troutman Homes, Insurance, Used Cars. I said, good Lord, pick a profession. You know what happened when the market tanked? everybody started buying used cars. They didn't buy as much insurance. It was insurance, housing, and used cars. They were buying used cars instead of new like crazy. They stopped buying insurance, and they stopped having houses built. When the economy is good, they load up on the insurance, load up on getting a new house or construction part of it, or getting things fixed, and they drop out the other. Guy's a freaking genius. Have multiple sources of income. Don't rely on just one, because then you're going to function out of desperation, and you are going to fail miserably because you're going to be in desperation mode. Okay? So have multiple. Even if you buy one of my programs, I've had people before go, "I'm going to quit my job," and I said, "Don't do it. Keep your job. Do this on the side." It's going to take a while to start getting money in. It's dumb. It's just dumb to get rid of income if you can continue to do that and do something else at the same time. Guys, make a transition. Cut your costs dramatically. Make that. Everybody's got to be a part of that, guys. You know what? When you tell your family, get them involved. It'll help them have your back. Hey, how can we cut? One of the things that I used when we were really bad off, when we were younger, I had really young kids, and I didn't want to give them money for nothing. So one of the things I did is my middle daughter wanted a way to make money. She was really young. I said, "You cut the coupons, and whatever you save me, and I'll buy that instead of what we normally buy at the store. And I'll even go to Harris Teeter and get double, whatever. Whatever you save me, I will give you 50%. Do you know, this girl got so good. She was young. She got so good that, I was literally having to give her like $40, $50 a week on what she was saving me. Saving me on the coupons. Don't be above it. Enlist the help of your kids. Bankruptcy is an option. I went through it. It's not an option like it used to be. You're going to be paying off for the rest of your life. But guys, the main thing is rip the Band-Aid off. Don't be thinking high. I've got to look at the tax ramifications down the road, and screw that. You're spending more than you're making. Fix it. Fix that. Fix that right now. The rest of it will be a lot easier, guys, when you're not hand-to-mouth, paycheck to paycheck. Don't get involved in, but I've got to look at, I think if I do it this way. Get more work and slash your costs. If you're leasing a vehicle that you don't need, get rid of it. Hand it back. Is it going to screw up your credit? You betcha. That's going to bounce back in no time. Another thing is to negotiate with creditors, guys. Talk to them. Now let me make something very, very clear. Most states, the laws are with judgments or liens. There's an expiration date, usually 10 to 20 years, depending on what it is and what state you're in. That expiration date counts from the last payment you made. That's why the credit companies ask you, "Oh, can you just make a $10 payment now? Because then we can set up a payment thing." What you're doing is you're resetting that lien or judgment. Do you get me? They're not doing that because they're nice. They're doing that because they added 2 years, which is what's passed since the judgment happened until now. They added 2 more years onto that expiration date. All right? Negotiate for a payoff, get it in writing, and then make the payments. And don't put anything further out than 3 years. And if you ever see a buy now, pay later, shut your ears and don't do it. That is going to get you upside down. All right? I hope this helps, guys. I'm going to go more in depth on later videos, what I went through personally. But I can tell you, if you just do some of this, it will help. The main thing is the honesty and being brutal about slashing costs. Brutal. Thanks.